Welcome to the history of South Africa, the history of apartheid. We were like apartheid introduced lots of sons because of they were attacked. We all know like during apartheid, our people were attacked. So we found Julius Malema found himself attending a case for singing a song that represent the history of a black child, the history that causes black child a lot. The history that black people, they lost their land, they lost their minerals, they lost everything that belongs to them because of apartheid. As you can see, as you can see, this thing is a open discussion. You understand? This is a open discussion, you know. Open discussion is what is this now? Understanding your NW application status. It's a thing of like the open discussion, the history. No one is attacked, but the history, it was not a history. You know, that's why like when you go to Orania, there is a statues of people who attack our people during apartheid because it's a culture, the history. But when Julius Malema sing the song of the ancestors, it's a crime. I don't know like what's happening in this country, you know, because of when you go to Orania, there's when you go to Orania, I'm back. When you go to, sorry for taking 3 minutes explaining. When you go to Orania, they have a statues that represent their ancestors, their culture. Even though their ancestors, like what they've done to black people, what we are today because of apartheid, the poverty we are living in because of apartheid. It's not a crime to them. But when Julius Malema sing the song, that their ancestors brought it, they were singing during struggle, during pain. It takes as something bad, you know, it takes as something that is not allowed. But at the end of the day, the court ruled we are here to learn and we are here to watch. And no one is targeted, no one is being attacked. This educational video, learning the history of South Africa.
Each member of this entity. This is done by taking crimes committed or allegedly committed by members of this group recently or hundreds of years ago, and then attributing guilt to the group as a whole. The suggestion is then made that white people deserve to be punished, but because of the great powers of patience and forgiveness of black people, they have not yet been. However, if they continue with their crime,
I think like the history means a lot. They shall not choose the sides. They don't choose the side. The history is a history, the truth is the truth. The song they are fighting for is a song that it came with our ancestors when they were facing the attack of I don't know, should I say Dash or White? It's a history, and we can't choose a side. So, like this one, when they put their statues there, it's okay because they say like it's their right to present their history, their culture. Same to Julius Malema. That's why like the cause, like Julius Malema win this case, but it's just that we need just to go through it.
And racism against black people, and refuse to return that which they steal, which they stole, all bets off the table. And Mr. Malema, I'm giving you your speech, I'm showing you the gospel, I'm pointing out the tactic that you use. And at the heart of this tactic, something deeply sinister and deeply antithetical to the value of non-racism, a value which is built into our Constitution. In Section 1 of our Constitution says South Africa is a nation founded on the...
I can't hear you speaking down, and you can see there's no comments. Why didn't they put the comments? There's no comments. They're speaking down. But I know, like this case is a song. It's a case of a song, But you want to hear how Julius Malema defended himself about this case. We are not promoting anything. We are not promoting anything. We speak the history, the future, the past tense, nothing much, nothing less.
Value of non-racial. The idea that we judge people on the content of their character, on the color of their skin. And what you do is you try and attribute guilt through groups. So instead of judging someone as an individual, what you do is you allocate blame to a group merely because they share the same melanin count, the same skin tone as other people, that they happen to look like other people. So you want to hold modern white.
So, like, what this case is for what exactly? Because at least, like, if I had some comments, I'll be able to have idea. But I know, like, it's a case. Malema Supreme Court a case against AfriForum. Like AfriForum always attack. But based on the song, based on my history, the song that we've been seeing during struggle, which is like, I don't know, man.
Africans liable for crimes committed by people hundreds of years ago who happen to look like
100 years ago. About it, it didn't happen after 30 years. It can't be 100 years ago.
And that's the sickness. That's the danger that you're doing. That you are trying to describe a whole group of people as criminals, murderers, land thieves, without any evidence that any of those individuals have committed those crimes. And that is antithetical to building a nation founded on that.
But like about the history, we all know like what happened. It's been said in Parliament, been said by our grannies that the land was being stolen and people were forcefully removed. I don't know. Evidence is everywhere when it comes to that. To say like people have forcefully removed their own land. People have been beaten, have been killed during apartheid, especially the youth, and especially this side in Butsilong or Sharpeville, where like there was a huge killing that side. So this thing has been there. I don't understand where it's like I don't understand, but it's a history, it's the past, and it happened. It's not something, not how something that didn't happen. It's something that happened.
Reconciliation, it's divisive, it's racist.
So like it is not them talking.
You gave me a long speech. I don't know what is the question, Malot.
Yeah, same to me. I don't understand the question. What is the question exactly? Is the song must be banned? The song of our ancestors? Where do we experience it? a brutal. I don't know, man. It was so painful, but we can't express how do we feeling during that time. But the thing of like, the thing that it must be, we can't just behave like it never happened about it. And even there's something, things were happening.
It's addressing a political rally of some sort.
Mr. Malema,
What's your question?
I'll ask you a very simple question. Is it the case that you hold white people as a group liable for the sins of their fathers?
Yes. Yes, correct.
Now, I'm putting it to you that that is racist. That if individuals...
No, like, I don't understand. I try to understand, you know. But if like something of like, there's nothing wrong to about the past. And people to understand what happened, and the world to understand what happened during apartheid. And she said like the song, I know like he said because of the song, we all know that. He said because of the song. But this song is a song when like our parents were being killed, our mothers being, oh my, I don't want to talk about other stuff. But when they were experiencing those times, young kids, youth being killed, they said like we need to fight back. They were fighting war. They were fighting a brutal killing with stones. But no one cares about how us we are feeling or how black people are feeling based on what happened. It's only Julius Malema who's able to remember you, to state we are in today. This disadvantage we have today is because of apartheid, because we have nothing, we have no land. Let's talk the truth. Who owns the land? Let's say the stats. 70% of the land is owned by whites, 4% by government, 4% by black people, 5% Indians, and 5% by colors. So this is the truth. It's not things that he maybe came with and
were held accountable for the sins of other people who happen to share their bank accounts. There are black people that you will accept have committed the crimes of murder, rape, theft. It would be improper to make a claim that all black people...
Let's say like what happened during apartheid. I think it's very important to able to have other pictures that present that what happened during apartheid, because people, they need to know. I want this thing to be a full presentation that this is what our ancestors went through. This is a pain they went through. Wi-Fi too slow, but then we're going to come back to Wi-Fi. This is a truth that our people need to understand what happened. Our kids, they need to hear these stories. These stories, you understand? Well, let's go here.
People of murderous thieves and rapists that would be racist and do so. Do you accept that?
My brother, when the white people came here and took our land, they didn't come and take our land as an individual.
This is the truth. They didn't come and took the land as individual, even though maybe it's the truth that you don't want to face. But they didn't come like as individual. The question is, how did they took the land? Let's focus to how. How did white people took the land?
They took it as settlers and then pushed us to a like sardines in congested environments with no economic opportunities. It is white people who must be ashamed of what...
In when you say push us to the place where there's no opportunities, like in the squatter camp, you can see like now black people are staying in Kasi townships. But like when they need to go to town, they need to use a taxi. So when they need to go to town, they need to use a taxi. That's where how they took their land and remove our people from their land. And yeah, so I think like it's best when I'm able to add where I can add, but it's a thing that is very important to talk about it. I know like sometimes can be too emotional, too sensitive, But the truth that like maybe our kids one day want to know like why we are living like this, why others are living like this. Because the question that we ask ourselves every time.
They've done to us. You cannot turn tables now and want to blame me for the crimes committed by white people. It is a white regime that killed children in 1976. It is the white regime that...
This thing is a truth. That's what the title says, like AfriForum. The title says AfriForum, when man must speak the truth, they attack. But like let's all be one South African with love and understanding. We are still in the healing process. We are still in the healing process to lose everything during apartheid and left with nothing. You understand? Is very important to say like we need to consider.
Killed children in the 80s and in the early 90s. It is white people who engaged in the wars of dispossession and forcefully took our land and our cows. Why can't you take responsibility? Why can't you for once just say sorry for the crimes we've committed against you? Why do you want to become victims when we are the biggest victims here? When we have lost everything? When we as black people remain a trauma?
Why don't you show some sorry? The only thing they care is us. What about people who stay with? People who our parents, man, they start to become domestic workers. These are songs like the song that was implemented during apartheid and after apartheid, not by EFF, not by Julius Malema, by our ancestors who experienced what they experienced that apartheid have done to our forefathers. This song say like, my father was a garden boy, my mother was a kitchen girl. This song is because of after they took everything to change your standard of life, you are living like this, and then when these people come, they take everything that you owned. When they sing that song, they were singing that song in pain. My mother was a kitchen girl, my father was a garden boy. This is so painful because this song it says to a black child, say, you need to work so hard to change the situation of your mother. But people who took everything from us, they didn't work so hard. The only thing they to beat our people. And then this is all the truth. You understand? Maybe they can change how they want to change it. They want to put the way they want to put it. But this is a pain that we went through. And then we can't live in a country where like, you can't express yourself. This is a democracy. South Africa is democracy, if you don't know. South Africa is a democracy country. We have free speech to speak, but you don't have to offend people, you don't have to target people, you don't have to be around things, you don't promote that. But it's a thing of like, when, for example, the steam, I don't know, there's a topic about the steam, I don't know what steam means what, but when they separate themselves from from black people, they create their own Orania. They say like, yeah, we're going to experience ourselves, our culture. This country is diversity, which is Orania does not comply with the law, with the section 235. You understand? And I was reading on that. This guy mentions like, no, we want to express ourselves, our culture. Even they put statues. How do you feel if the government or if anyone in EFF, if anyone in ANC, and say we're going to open a case with you guys because you put a statue there in the statues that not present on the right way, I don't know the right way, but you put the statues that make us to remember apartheid, that makes us to remember the suffering. How will it be if it goes that way? But when Malema sing the song that reminds them where they come from, is a problem. Is this thing go with favors? This thing goes who you are. But like I said, in the court ended this case and Malema won. But like here it's all about learning our history, learning where you come from. You understand? And if like you don't understand your history, this video you must watch. If like you don't understand where you come from, this video is the best way video to watch because it's going to open your mind. This is the best video you can watch like for now.
Nation. A nation that doesn't know what the future holds for them. At least you are guaranteed the future. At least you know if it doesn't work for you here, you can go somewhere else. We've got nowhere to go. And then you come here and want to...
And what you say is a good example about what you say, like, you know, at least if it doesn't work in South Africa, you have a place to go. He didn't want to put that way. So like, this is what happened when there's misinformation of white genocide. Trump offered them a refugees. So like, welcome, come back home. But like us, who will offer us those benefits of refugees? Africa is, I don't know what's happening in Africa. They're still in the process to find themselves. They're in that process to find who they are. And this is a beautiful question. At least you know where to go when things are not working. What about those who don't know where to go if things are not working? Even they're not working, our government is failing us.
Accuse me, a victim of racism, of being a racist. It's a huge insult, not only to me, but to black people. Madiba coerced us into reconciliation.
And like during apartheid, they were having, because this is all about, they were having chairs, and those chairs, they were rating like only European. I want to search now. I want to search now so that we can able understand with the proof. There was this chairs. Sorry, let me do like this. There was this chairs. I'm going to say chairs apartheid. Chairs apartheid. So we can see. I'm going to say. I'm in love with the criminal. What he have done, Julius Malema? Because now I'm just talking about my experiences in South Africa experiences. So like there was this chairs, apartheid chairs. Let me say apartheid chairs. The public ones. This thing they don't talk about it. Public man. I don't know what is it. Public. I don't know what do you call them. These guys I'm in love with. I'm not only one. There were these chairs. These chairs. These chairs. Cape Town political crisis politics. Non-white only. Yes, these chairs, they were having names. As you can see, like this one, Europe's only. This is what apartheid have done to us. Kids lost their lives. Look, let me do like this. And someone said, I'm not in love. The truth is what is going to save this country. Look, man, this is our kids during apartheid. Freedom was around the corner. How UK activists helped ANC to defeat apartheid. So that people who understand, kids, these are young kids. These are young kids, look this one. These chairs I'm talking about. An African man reads on a benchmark, Europe only, in South Africa Park. Europe only. And we must forget, this is the past. We must forget those things. But the problem is when we express ourselves and want to understand what happened during apartheid and who benefited during apartheid, that's where problem starts. That's where problem starts. Like this man said, like you are in love with a criminal. What he have done? Who during apartheid, those who killed, they were doing what? It's a crime against humanity.
reconciling with people who have never been one with. That was a myth. It is unrealistic. You can't reconcile if you've never been together. You never came here with an intention to be with us. You came here with an intention to conquer us, and we remain conquered.
We remain conquered. So like if you say like we remain conquered, and it's the thing of like we need to about the land. And even though I can ask ChatGPT about the land, give us the stats of the land. So like give us the stats of the land in South Africa. Is going to give us stats. Don't worry, I'm very smart. Based on the who owns English slowly. Who owns the land? This is the thing focus on. We remain conquered. We own nothing. Private individuals. Let's go like about the race now. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Breakdown by race 27 audit data. This is what we say, like we have nothing. You can say what you want to say, but we have nothing. Black people. Apartheid is still winning. Someone said that to me. Someone said to the social media, like apartheid is still winning. Look, this government audit prevent racial breakdowns for private land owned by individual people, not trust or companies. Important concept, this breakdown is for land owned by individual as subset of total land, not the entire land base in South Africa. For farms and agriculture holding is whites, they own 72% of land. They own 72% of land. This is so painful. About in the past, we still live in the shacks. We have nothing. When someone like Julius Malema stand for black people, AfriForum coming with all, I don't know, to make him quiet. I don't know what they're trying to make him quiet or what. For singing a song, the struggle song. So differentiate between the statues they have in Orania, and the song they were singing during apartheid. Yes, the statues, they represent their own culture and whatnot. While we sing the song of our ancestors, we do something wrong. Black people own 4%. Look what I'm talking about. Colors own 14%. Indian owning 5%. This is the truth. This is like everything like Julius Malema talk about the truth, and then we must not talk about it. Whether you like it or not, the truth is going to save this country. We are not coming here and act like this is the truth, man. We all see it. We all see it. I don't come here and I'm here and give you evidence. I'm not coming here and don't give you. I give you evidence to say like this is what happened, and this is the evidence I provide. You understand? Let's go.
You're using this term "you," and this is detached from reality. You want to say that you, me, white people, are the same as people from 1652, from 350 years ago.
You are the same.
The same.
You are the same. You are the
You see, like the part of you are the same, I don't know, because now I never spend most of the time with, like in white community, I never. But like how we see things as we are growing up, I can't say what they say. I can't say that, but maybe he knows because of he's been living, man. Me, I'm just a man who want to understand what happened exactly. and what he's saying and what the thing is saying. And then I take it, I put in there to check like who's speaking the truth and what.
The same.
So let's not go into a debate, please. Let's put the question. Mr. Malema, just listen to the question.
The claim is a very simple one. That the way that we deal with things in the justice system is we don't ask someone, are you a member of a particular race? Has that race committed crimes? Yes.
What happened to sing a song is a crime? Or because we need to understand. But I believe it's not a crime because of the court rule this matter. But is a like seeing that song, it makes those who are innocent. It makes those who are innocent not comfortable. Because the song and that song is, if like I understand that part, like just imagine you sing that song and it will make you to be not uncomfortable. You never be comfortable, which is makes sense. Okay.
We deal with things in court is we say, did you, as an individual, commit that crime? Are you a murderer? If you are a murderer because of what you did as an individual, we hold you liable. We don't say.
My apologies, Your Lordship. You can't structure how the witness should answer the question. If the question is a question of an individual murder in a criminal trial, there's merit to the proposition. But if he's dealing with a systematic issue, then you can't direct him as to.
So why the switch of the comments exactly? This is the thing that I want to understand. Why the switch of the comments? And you can see this guy, you are in love with a criminal. What he have done? What crime did he commit? Because now I'm just reacting and showing the history of South Africa. And this guy is like, you're in love with a criminal. What?
How should answer on an individual basis? Is dealing with a systematic issue, should be permitted to so.
Well, the question is very simple. It's to point out that a systematic analysis is fundamentally flawed, and it is premised on the idea of holding individuals liable for the crimes committed by their fascists. I'll give you an example where I say that's not how we run things. In a just country, we hold individuals liable for their crimes. And the danger of what you do is that you actually.
What is the, I don't understand. Man, there is this history. They say something like, I don't know, let me do like this. What is this? There's something I'm looking for. You guys once watched Sarafina. Sarafina has given the history. In Sarafina, they were singing after singing. This is what we were all experimenting.
Crimes committed by others merely because they have the same skin tone as individuals. And I'm saying this is a simple question. If someone were to say, here is evidence of black people having committed crimes of murder, rape, genocide, and then said, I want to hold this particular black individual liable for those crimes, even though they never did it themselves.
Sorry, Mr. Oppenheimer, you list also genocide by the individual. I'm not sure whether.
It's like, so you list genocide by individual. What is your question exactly? By individual, maybe it's like, maybe the song is linked to genocide, because like now they're saying like, yo, there's genocide in South Africa, there's genocide in South Africa. And the government say like, there's no genocide in this country. And then there's genocide. The government say like, there's no genocide. So there's the two different stories. We're like, AfriForum is fighting with the government to say that there's genocide here and there's no genocide. That's why, and if you're watching the National Congress, Day One, even you mentioned the presidency, like the misinformation that lead Trump to say he don't want to work with us, they want to work with, they want to see us next year in what they call it is come on, in G20. It's because of the information. Because Trump is saying like there's a lot happening. Trump said there's a lot happening in South Africa.
You still referring, because you started off by saying if an individual is identified to have done murder, rape, and then you say genocide. Yes. I thought genocide is much broader than simply one single act of murder.
Yes, but my lord, in other words, an individual could be held liable.
Well, I understand the judge. Genocide is a big weed. Yeah, I'm scared. I'm afraid.
In other words, an individual could perform the act of genocide by killing thousands,
Yes.
thousands of people.
I'm just worried that the word genocide may lead to a further debate between you.
Oh, you want to understand like how that weight. I understand you. Yeah, make us understand because we don't understand.
And the witness, maybe it needs to be, if you can unpack it outside the others.
I'm happy to do so. Very interesting. If it is the case that there are some black people who have committed crimes of murder, rape, and theft, then it would be racist to attribute those crimes to a different black people. Would that be correct?
Yes. My lord, he asked me a question before I got interrupted about the similar issue.
But I guess everyone experiencing crime in South Africa. Everyone. And today we had a sad story, everyone experienced crime. That's why I feel like our government is not, like, I don't know, the policing, also with the policing. We also about what happened to the witness, the one who was giving the thing against Julius. Is what that guy? Yeah. This is how crime is corruption in this country. Crime is everywhere. Everyone is affected by crime. Now, I'm not talking for blacks, I'm not talking for whites, I'm not talking for Indians, I'm not talking for everyone. But crime here is, oh my God. Even as we are afraid to go at night, because this crime is so scary. Very scary, to be honest, very scary. But in these videos, we are talking about the past, we're talking about the future, we're talking about the present, we're talking about the history of apartheid.
That individuals commit crime, and then should we say black? And I said no. But there is now a problem, my lord, in our society where the women are being killed in their numbers.
No, a lot. And you can see like now, they focus on, they a lot. They focus on, what is this? Come to me, man. They focus on this thing, man. They're putting their profile pictures green. GVB is on different level, just what I just explained.
Up with a hashtag called Men Are Trash. Me and you sitting here, my lord, we've never raped any woman, we've never killed any woman. But we appreciate the frustration they find themselves in. And because we're not trash and we're not murderers and we're not rapists, when they say men are trash, we're so unaffected individually, because we know we don't subscribe to that.
Facts, yeah, men's are dogs. Men's are, wow, you're reasoning me, wow. So like men are dogs, men are like this, men are like this, men are like this. So like, if you know like you're not like that, why feel offended? I believe his statement. If you know like you're not a trash, why you believe like when people say it, why you get offended? I think this is statement. So like, if you know like you're not trash, why you get offended? Because you know like you're not trash. Oh my God, why I'm entering. Oh my God, I need to be that confirmed. God. Oh, like ice. Like sometimes when you play Forex, it's going to it's Forex,
I call whites racist in the presence of my legal team and all those whites I work with. They are unaffected because they know they are not racist. They know I'm not talking to them. So it was a systematic arrangement.
Yeah, it's fake, man. It's fake. And I think use a beautiful example. Use a beautiful example when you say like when women they say hashtag men are dogs, men are this, men are trash, men are what. But if you know like you're not dead, why you are itchy, why you get itchy? Because like when you're not like that, when now you love girls and you respect them, you protect them. And this is the same example, like you said, like even my colleagues I work with, I'll be calling whites racist, but they know like I'm not talking to them. So if they don't talk to you, why you get itchy? Why you, yeah. Which is I understand you.
Of white people who came up with a segregation policy to isolate us. It was not an individual, my lord. It was the colonialists, the settlers who came and took our land collectively, took our minerals collectively. We cannot blame that on an individual. Only a narrow-minded person will say, because a black person individually.
Facts, he's right. Even though like what happened, people came, they stole that. We know it's a history. We know it happened. And let's not act like it never happened. We all know it's a history, but you never go to someone as individual to say like you stole the land, It's like this thing they took it like as collectively. Minerals, cows, collectively. You never go and say like, you guys, you as pointing to individual. He making totally sense. You understand? If you're watching here and you are fair, you will say like he's speaking the truth. Like he's right, man. Say like, well, you're the one who took the land. No, you didn't steal it. You understand? It's a thing of like they took the land collectively. You understand? They took it like they were in groups when they took it. Yeah, this is statement. I understand you.
Commit murder, not through a systematic black system that says we must go and kill people. Then we must generalize these black people. But the generalization of white people is based on the system that they themselves developed. By the way, you are the ones who came with this thing of classifying people with race. We never woken up in the morning and declared we're black. You declared us black so that you can isolate.
This is the truth, man. Like I said, we are speaking the history. Like the band, the public, there was like European only. You see, like that, we are separating people, we are dividing people. I was watching this lady. I was talking about this thing, like when you got, I don't know, is arrested or what? They were using a gun. They come to check like whether you are colored, black or white or Indian. So if like your hair is like mine, they know like you are black. You understand? So these are things that they were happening, and then we must not be afraid to talk about our history, because of maybe you'll be afraid to talk about your history because you feel like you'll end up like Julius Malema sitting in the courtroom questioning you to say like, why you speak about your history? Why you speak about that? This is what we're supposed to speak about it, to understand where we come from. The moment you understand where you come from, you know where to go. But if you don't understand, if you don't know where you come from, it will be hard for you to go. You understand? So you don't want that thing like people will be afraid. Be like, no, I don't want to talk about this. Hey, what if this happened? These things, everyone must be free to talk about their history like that guy in Orania. I was listening him very well, you know. He said it's like he said I was listening very well because I love to listen. I love to learn through those. He said like we have in Orania those statues. They represent our culture. They represent our history. But for me, I'll be like, why like history? Like how when people attacked our people and stole their land and what as collectively, not them as individual, but like what Julius Malema just say, as collectively. So people they must open their ears. They must open their ears.
Yourself from us. You've got the blame to take and take responsibility. White people, till to date, and your leaders, many of them refuse to go to the TRC just to take a stand and apologize.
Here's the difficulty that I have.
So if you're not a racist, don't be offended.
Yes.
You want to make a broad claim, white people are racist, except for, of course, all the white people.
Malema is speaking the truth. He's speaking the facts. If you are not, why you get offended? Because you know you are not, right? And everything that Julius Malema is saying is a thing that we all see happening. People isolating themselves. Orania, not black people allowed to stay there. It's not division, it's division. Even though this is against section 235. To say like South Africa must be one. Let's look at that section of South Africa. Let's look at that section of South Africa. Give me that section of 235 about South Africa, Republic of South Africa. It's a division. It's a division. You can't people they divide themselves and then after they want to blame pointing others while they're the one who started it. Give me that section of 235 of Republic of South Africa, that law. You understand? He's speaking the rights and same to me. Since I'm reacting, I must go through these things and understand what they means. You understand? Oh. So section, I hope you can all see the session. I hope you can all see the session, right? This is a section 235 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996. The right of South Africa, the right of the South Africa people as the whole to self-determination, as manifest of this Constitution, does not put within a framework of this right. Reconnection of the notion of the self-determination, any community sharing a common cultural, and language heritage within a territorial entity or republic or any way determined by the legislations. What it means, national self-determination. South Africa as a whole, they have the right to self-determination as expressed through the democratic constitutional order. Group or community self-determination, section 235 also recognize that community with a shared cultural, linguistic heritage may have the form of self-determination, but only within a framework of the Constitution provided. Not a right to see it a deep English, man. I don't understand this deeply. It does not mean by itself given to any group or guarantee legal right to separate from South Africa or become independent state. Any such agreement will require international legislation must be operate within that. So, like based on that, I want to ask you something. This is an example, the scenario. For example, if Zulu nations say like they don't want Tswana people in the Zulu land, they don't want Indian, they don't want Xhosa, Sepedi, they go against section 235. They say they want themselves only to be there and they want to practice their culture. do they comply with Section 235? The reason I'm doing this, Julius Malema mentioned about division. It's like people, they came and say like, you black, and black people not allow, and black people were not allowed to stay with, black people were not allowed to stay with whites. You can see that the chairs were written only European, the chairs were written only what. You understand? So short answer, no, that will not comply with Section 235. This is what we see in Orania. So like only white Africans should stay there. It will not be allowed under the Constitution for South Africa. Let me break it down. Why Section 235 does not allow with that scenario? Section 325 talks about self-determination of cultural or language community, but only within the framework of Constitution. That means you cannot violate other people's constitutional rights. You understand? That means you cannot violate. So even a cultural group has formal self-determination, they cannot remove people from a province. You are not allowed to do that. You are against the law. Ban other South Africans for living in an area. You cannot allow to do that. Discriminate people based on intrinsic culture. You cannot create it only. You can't do that. This is a diverse country. But others, they can do it and just go with it just like that. What it says about our laws, what is telling us to the young kids like me or young kids watching this video, one kid trying to understand, this will violate several constitutional rights, including Section 9, equality, Section 10, women dignity, Section 1, freedom of movement of residents, and Section 31, cultural rights as long as they don't infringe others. Section 235 does not allow any group to exclude others. These are the laws that they make peace with it. As Tswana nation, I cannot kick out a Pedi. As a Tswana nation, as Botswana, which is northwest Botswana, which is the land of Botswana, KZN, the land of Zulu people, Limpopo, the land of Tonga, Pedi, Venda. They cannot say like, you are Tswana, leave our land, leave as Free State, the land of Basotho. They cannot say like to Chinese, to Indian, to whites, to like leave our place, leave. It's not how it works. And what Julius Malema is explaining to say like, these people are the one who brought this thing of like, yeah, you are black, you stay there. And we don't want to share anything with you, you are black, stay there. He said he's the one who brought it. So why now they turn it to me? Why they do it reversal? Why they play victims while they're the one who brought it? But this is what I want to say. I want to ask, you understand? I want to ask based on this. So like in South Africa, we have a place called Orania, where like only white African allowed to stay there, not black people, not Indian, not Chinese. Does it comply with the Section 235? Because this topic is an endless topic and the laws must be respected. And they say, yeah, you see, like, no, Orania does not comply with Section 235 or other stuff in the Constitution in the way it excludes people based on race. Listen carefully. This, like, now explained very carefully. Orania is a private town in South Africa, mostly independent from white Afrikaners. It markets itself as a place of preserved African culture, language, and heritage. They claim a kind of cultural self-determination. Why is unconstitutionalized if it's taken literally? Section 235 allows for cultural self-determination, but always within constitutions. This means that no racial or ethnic exclusion. Section 9 guarantees equality, prohibits discrimination based on the race. No banning other South Africans to live in one place. That means if you want to stay in Orania, you can stay in Orania. The constitutional is protected you. If like I decide go to stay in Orania, you can do it whether they want or what, where they go to cry or what, you can go and stay there. You are not allowed to banning other South Africans to leave the place. Section 22 guarantee freedom of movement and residence. Like I said, I can move. Section 21 guarantee freedom of movement. I can move in Orania if I want to. Where are they in Orania? They say like, no, based on the law, I can move freedom of movement. If Oranje legally prevented non-whites from moving, then it will violate fundamental rights. You understand? How Oranje gets around in practice, Oranje is a poverty, so technical town does not forcibly remove people. Yes, non-South Africans are not legally buried for moving in. Yeah, definitely are not. But like how the weight is being spread on, how the words being spread on. And the thing of like what Justin says, like, you guys are the one who came with this thing of like, you are black, stay this side, you are white, stay this side. So he's not him. In the first place, as well.
White people are land, it's acceptable that people haven't stolen their land. Is that what you're saying?
White people stole our land.
Which white people?
White people who came and settled here.
250 years ago.
Yes.
You think white people now are land thieves?
Yes, they remain land thieves.
They remain land thieves.
Yes, the land.
This man is brave, man. Julius Malema is brave. The bravest man I ever know. The bravest man I ever know in my life.
It has not been returned into the hands of the rightful owners. For as long as you are in a possession of
If the land is returned, then why president signed land reform? Why they signed president? Because president signed land reform. I want to call my baby. I don't know if she'll be able to answer. If like is dead, why?
stolen car, you remain a criminal.
Let's use that analogy. Now, a simple situation. An individual steals my car. They have a claim against me for stealing that car, and I should be punished for stealing that car. Imagine that it's the father of the individual.
Give me 1 minute, baby. Keep on Johnny. Give you to go to now on our pains most. Get to Johnny, Florent Johnny. Ukhona kusebenza mara. Manje you are fine, you're good. Yeah? Oh, zokhuluma ngathi ngiyamthandeza. Yes, guys, I was talking to my wife. He was really correct.
Stole the car. And I now pursue the same. You might say, well, there's a very close link here. You've got the cards in your possession, you should return the car. But your case is not that. Your case is to go back 350 years ago and say, someone who looks like your grandfather. Right?
Oh, yeah. This is a case. Let's say like how things goes like now. Yeah, expected.
Great grandfather stole land from someone who looks like my great grandfather. And therefore you today.
So like why government sign let's do like this. Me, I work with proof now. Now I don't want to come and talk. I work with proof now. ChatGPT, let's go. If like you're talking about like why your grandfather take the bread, baby. So like give me this. What Ramaphosa saying about the land reform. I want to educate my viewers here because so we can able to understand what we deal with, what President of South Africa saying about the land reform. So like now I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk too much now. Now we go with ChatGPT and give us information. I was not able to find out the reference code about South African land. What President Ramaphosa said about the land? Land reform is about addressing historical injustice. This is what Ramaphosa said about the land. You understand? You understand? So land reform is about addressing historical injustice. Ramaphosa has consistently framed land reform as corrective racial disposition of colonialism and apartheid. So if we want to, if the what is this? The judge say like, how do you recognize and what? Why is this then? Why Ramaphosa saying this? Where the vast majority of land end up in the hands of white South African, while black South African were dispossessed. He said meaningful reform is needed to ensure equality, economic inclusion, and dignity for majority of South Africa, historically experienced from late ownership. One's going to reach this level based on what he just said. Listen, how? Sometimes people they ask questions that does not make any sense.
Must pay it back. But I put it to you that is not our ordinary sense of justice.
But who pays reparation?
Yes.
Your Lordship, if we're going to infuse legal arguments as a proposition to the client, then I think it's only fair that there be a balance. So my learned friend must take the argument further. If he says if the father steals the car and gives it to his son, technically speaking, the father is a criminal. But as a matter of fact, the son himself is a criminal for possession of stolen property.
Yes, based on the laws of South Africa. If I sell you a phone that's been stolen, If I come to with a phone that has been stolen and you buy it, even though you didn't know, it's a stolen phone and you'll be arrested for that. We all know that. We must be familiar with our laws. And then let's go here. The government has passed a new appropriation law. There's a new law in January 2025. Ramaphosa signed a new appropriation act into a law, replacing the old law. This model law outlines how land and other property can be appropriated for public interested purpose, including land reform, while still requiring just and equitable compensation as guided by constitutions. The law also need compensation in specific circumstances and use land, abandoned properties, or land benefiting historical inequality, but only under constitutional law and legal checks. Ramaphosa and his government stress this is not a tool for arbitrary land grabbing, but legal process meant to accelerate reform while putting them. So, like, yes, in debate, we are watching debate, right? But this is what the laws that they've been implemented.
So if he's going to make a legal argument, he must take it to its natural conclusion, because it has an implication of what my client is suggesting, that if you remain in possession of stolen land, albeit that you can steal it, we remain a criminal, albeit perhaps in a different form. And that's the proposition he's making.
I don't know. I think it's like that. You can't buy something that's been stolen. If you buy something that is being stolen, Friday. Guys, I didn't know today is Friday. I didn't know today is Friday at all. But this is what we are learning through this kind of conversations, you understand? This is what we are learning through the conversations that we learn from these people. So like this thing of like this kind of debate, just debate, man. It's not something deep and what.
Let a friend appears to be testifying on behalf of witnesses to what is responsible. I'm just pointing out to you, very simply, that what you're trying to do is attribute guilt across lines over 350 years, regardless of whether a particular piece of land was once dispossessed. Your claim is white people cannot be the rightful owners of land in this country, regardless of whether
They cannot be, but this thing is why the it's not like that. Our country is not like if our country was like it's like that, they have that mindset, it'd be like, yes, you cannot be the owner. But our president signed, right, and say like the land will be shared, the land that is unused. They never say they're going to take the land from white people or what. They say the land will be shared for public benefits, even for economy, obviously, if economy. He never said that. Come on.
bought the land, whether they're Americans who landed here yesterday, if they're white, they are not rightful owners of the land. Your claim is that the rightful owners of the land We have a restitution process in place.
What to this case is about the land or the song. But let's go to the land. The land, if someone coming from America and buy the land, obviously is going to get title deed, the proof that he bought the land. What are you saying? Because of here he's talking about the present to someone coming in South Africa and buy the land, and they talk about the past. Like I said, is the historical injustice. You understand? Is historical injustice. You understand? And this thing is what we need to talk about. The thing that we need to embrace it. These kind of topics, which even though like they're too emotional, too touchy, but the topics that is going to, I don't know, but the topics that they are good for learning about our past, for learning what happened, and how can we change that. You understand?
Mr. Rhodes, there's some evidence on how the restitution process works. Very simple. The Constitution says, after 1913, if you can show you were dispossessed, then you must pay that back, or you must receive restitution. In other words, in the form of financial compensation. And that process has been undergone. You are calling for something much more radical. In other words, instead of looking at the individual
Mr.
party,
Oppenheimer, please put the
Mr. Oppenheimer is like Mr. Oppenheimer is focused on one question. Mr. Oppenheimer doesn't go to question. He try to explain. Listen, Mr. Oppenheimer, go straight to the point, Mr. Oppenheimer. What are you saying exactly? What is your question? So that the case can be finished. So that Mr. Oppenheimer is going there. Mr. Oppenheimer is coming there. Let's go to the case, Mr. Oppenheimer. Let's go to the case. Mr. Oppenheimer, let's finish this case. This case is long. It's very long. So Mr. Oppenheimer is going left and right. Is going Mr. Oppenheimer, let's go to case, Mr. Oppenheimer.
question to the witness and let the witness respond.
Yeah, I'm also
Otherwise,
lost.
we're going to be here until next year.
I'm also lost.
Simple question is, how do you justify holding someone today liable for crimes committed by someone else 150 years ago?
There is a saying, Yauri,
But like before Julius Malema speak, the same as like why you blame a child for their parents' actions, right? But what happened is those people who stole the land, their kids now they're enjoying those wealth. You understand? I feel like the land was stolen, but their kids they're enjoying those things. And black kids they are suffering for their actions for those who stole the land. You understand? Yes, you say like why you punish innocent kids? Like maybe my father is the one who stole the land. Why now they should punish me? But my father when he stole the land from that family, what about those kids? So those kids are the one who allow to suffer because of your father stole the land and we are innocent. That's why the government said like to avoid that question, they said the land that is not used and abandoned properties, the property that are not being using, then Oh my God. Let me see.
I don't know how to say it in English. There will be an interpreter here. You cannot take a stolen car from your father and claim you're not a criminal. It remains a stolen car.
Let's give counsel an opportunity, and I'll give it a shot. What he's saying is that the children will be punished for the sins of their parents.
Yes. So
This is a beautiful say. It is say that in African culture, you say, even your innocent child, the world will beat you based on your parents' actions. It's so painful, innocent child, to experience bad things, to went through pains because of their parents' behavior. It's very painful. But even though, like, based on that question, just to add mine, is the thing of like, what about those who lost everything and their kids that don't have a place to stay, their kids that live in poverty? What about them then? If you avoid the thing of like me, what about me? What about those kids who are like they lost everything because of apartheid? They lost their like the standard of living they were living, they lost everything because of apartheid. What about those kids? What are you saying about those ones? So we need to check it in the both sides. What about those? Yeah? I hear you very well. I hear you very well. What about those who lost everything during apartheid? Like now, as you speak, they have no place to stay. They are struggling. What about those?
when you steal a car and you pass over the stolen car to your children, it makes that child a criminal as well, because it's in possession of stolen.
Based on the law, yes. Based on the law, it makes that child a criminal too. Based on law of this country. Based on this law of this country. Based on this law of this country, makes that child criminal. Laws are laws. Without laws, what we are. When I watched the Prison Break, someone said that, he said, without laws, what are we? If we don't have laws, we are just, which is stay with me. And what Malema is asking is a simple question. It's a beautiful question.
Goods, and that child passes that car or doesn't even pass that car, he sells that car to go and buy another car with the money of stolen goods. It remains a stolen good, the property you bought.
Meaning, like, even though like you can benefit from apartheid benefits, and then if you benefited from apartheid, then it happens that you're going to buy other land with the money of the stolen property. This is a good example. You understand? So I guess we can't have, to be honest, we can't have, like, how I see AfriForum. Man, AfriForum does not want peace, man. Does not want peace. We can't have peace with division from the first place. Number one. This is the number one statement. I'm coming. 1 minute.
With the money stolen, got from a stolen goods, you are in possession of stolen property. Return it, please. Your parents have left you a very bad name, and don't blame it on us. But I asked a question earlier. Reparations are paid.
I just stop you right there. Why have the name that I have, that my grandparents fled Nazi Germany and sought refuge in South Africa in the 30s to avoid extermination. Now the witnesses brought up my name and I will use the opportunity to respond to
I never brought your name. I never brought your name.
Sorry, Mr. Oppenheimer, we can't get into debate with the witness.
I've never brought your name.
So like now it becomes personal. So guys, I was doing something. So like for being patient with me, I was busy with something. But let's go and enjoy this topic. This topic is so beautiful topic, man. This is a beautiful topic. Let's go.
Perhaps a solution to this. The witness testified at least 3 times yesterday that when he says you, I'm talking about your client, 3 times. The second point is we get into a debate, and perhaps it's an opportune time for us to take a tea break.
Let's go take a tea break. Let's go take a tea break. You understand? This case was about what exactly? Because I know like the idea was the case that Julius Malema won. This case Malema won it, but the matter was taken to AFCO, to Trump. But the thing of like allegedly the matter was taken to Trump allegedly, because I don't know. This case was about the song that government ruled it. Because I remember there was a case of Julius Malema attending about, I think it's this one. So how we end up to a land, which is a land, is a topic that will never end.
Yes, Mr. Oppenheimer.
yes,
I want to ask to complete on this one. Are you completed on this question? Because I wouldn't want it to take further time after tea.
yes. Let's finish the question.
Yes.
When you said your name, you're referring to my surname of Oppenheimer.
You see, if he's going to be personal with me,
Is it personal case or what, like now?
like that, I'm going to take a big issue. I've never brought Oppenheimer's name. I don't even know his name. I don't know. I've never, my Lord, called him by name. I've always referred to him as you, and I clarified it that I'm referring to a client.
When you said your name, what are you referring to?
What do you mean?
You testified now, your name. Now, what are you referring to?
Your name, Oppenheimer.
No, I'm asking you, I'm giving you an opportunity to explain.
What a case, man. What a case.
Explain what it is you mean. You said your name. Explain what you mean.
If I can assist your lordship,
Yes.
the witness here is struggling with the reference to your name. So the witness's testimony earlier was, your fathers, your parents have left you a bad name.
Yes.
And now the witness perhaps now has
Okay.
context of what is mentioned, and perhaps can respond.
But like every parent can leave their child in a bad name. For example, if from a family, let's exclude the race. If from a family where like they do crime, they sell drugs, that family is selling drugs. You from that family where like is selling drugs, the family where like is not well respected society. When the child is going there, when the child in that family, then the child they give a bad name. I don't know, maybe that's what Malema is trying to say. Your family they left you a bad name because of your family, they were selling drugs, they were not treating people right in the society and what. I think like that what is trying to say about that when you say like, yeah.
Yes, my Lord, when I say your name, I mean them as white people. Your parents have left you a bad name. So that is the context I'm using it. So please, if you are going to be a legal representative, you are going to have to reduce yourself from this case individual, as an individual. Remove your emotions.
So like reduce yourself, reduce how you feel about me. Let's go to the case. Let's face this case together. You understand? Let's not go with emotions on this case. He's saying that Julius Malema is telling the guy that to reduce yourself from the case.
Deal with me as a professional. Because if you are going to come to me as a personal person, individual, I will no longer look at you as a professional. I will decisively deal with you as an individual.
Let's pause for a moment. I think we're going to take a tea break. I think one of the difficulties and the challenge.
Let's go tea break. I'm tired of streaming. Let's go for a tea break. But like I said, no one is targeted. This is educational purpose and understand the history of South Africa, understand what happened. These are the topics that is sensitive topic, man. Sensitive topic. I don't want to lie about the land and land reform is a very sensitive topic, you know. That is why like other people can see, say, don't be too personal, don't be what. So yeah.
In the questioning, Mr. Oppenheimer, is this confusion that comes about the systematic issues and the individual issues. I think try and make sure that you stick to one of them at a particular time, because they keep coming backwards and forward. One stage it was a systematic problem about dispossession, and then it then came to examples about stealing of motor vehicles by individuals, and I think that's where the whole confusion comes up, and then you end up in this whole.
Yeah, you're right. I believe he's right because of what I was saying. Like, your father, then you stole it becomes like the system and becomes as individual. But like these are topics that's going to be there and the topic that people are going to talk about it, whether we like it or not. Our kids, it's the Africa history that is been happening. You understand? So nothing much, man. Oh, nothing much.
So try and make sure that you draw that distinction in your questions.
My point is that one of this line of questioning is to show that what's being done is to hold individuals liable for the sins of their fathers and for the sins of their fathers. And I appreciate the clarity when he says your name, he means the bad name of white people, he's not referring to myself. And I take that.
Yes, at least like able to understand. It's not like you say you say like you as people, you as a group, you as collective. It is like when we're able to understand what's happening. But these are topics that we need to talk about it no matter what. We can't run away from these topics, because these are topics that will always come back.
Okay.
But my lord, I was interrupted here on a point of reparations. We have seen countries paying reparations. Generations way after those crimes were committed to those.
Malema follows the laws, man. You can't beat Malema when it comes to these things. These things, against Malema.
Nations. The current generation taking responsibility for the sins committed by generations centuries ago. And that argument has never arisen. That no, why are you blaming us? Why are we the...
So, like, why? Who will pay the reparations? Who's going to pay them?
Ones who are paying for the sins of our parents. So this matter that why are we paying for the sins of our parents or grandparents as the current generation is neither here nor there. You have inherited the debt and you shall pay the debt.
Thank you very much.
What a sensitive topic to focus on, but it is a topic that we need to talk about. We can't run away from it. It's a history that happened, and some people share their opinions. Everyone is allowed to share their opinions, and but we are not. It's a freedom of speech, but you need to use it wise. It's an open discussion. Like I said, you can comment. My name is Emily in the card. I did the most. I love you so much. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that I can stay motivated and keep on showing up. Bye. Bye. See you.